Hello there, and welcome to the mdaadt podcast. I'm your host, Leslie North. Alright, first of all, I wanted to just apologize for the sound quality of this recording. If you're having better trouble hearing me, or if it's a bit muffled, I apologize. It's just this microphone. It's the only one I got. I think it's probably, I think it's probably about 60 or 70 years old. I bought it at a garage sale down in, or up in Schenectady, and I bought it with a bunch of stuff. But basically, I just bought a big box of electrical equipment. They were giving it away, I think. And I also happened to come across what at the time I was led to believe was a vial of the leadbelly's urine. But I mean, I didn't have. I normally, in that sort of instance, I would be skeptical. I would call some people who would know something about this, and I didn't have my phone on me. I kind of just went for it. It was $380, and I thought, when is this going to come up again? And I'm not ashamed of admitting that that's how much I paid for it. I was going through a fortunate time in my life when I had quite a bit of money to spend, and so it wasn't a big deal. But later on, I found out that even with the thorough DNA testing, um, it could always just be, it did come up, the leadbelly family, as the DNA, but they could not determine whether it was his urine or his son's or his father's. I know he had a brother who later in life had an infection of the esophagus, which spread to his bladder. I think they called him lead bladder, which that's quite funny if you think about it. But he did wear a catheter later in life. He had to have his bladder removed, and I think they replaced it with that stuff that they make haggis out of. That Scottish cuisine. And I think that I think it's quite likely that they had quite a lot of his urine in storage as well, just for testing purposes. So, I'm skeptical at best, but it's a nice thing to brag about. It's a nice thing to have when you have people over. You can always lie and just say, this is leadbelly's, and I've got the certificate of authenticity that it comes from that family line, and that's all people, that's enough for most people. They're happy to see that, and I've gotten some fairly positive comments about that. But incidentally, what unfortunately, I should say, when I was taking that, I actually bought 2 vials, but I lost one because it leaked out. It leaked into this box of electrical gear that I'd bought as well, including this microphone. And I got it home, and unbeknownst to me, it had leaked. I didn't. I think it had fallen into the box, so I didn't know whether it sort of leaked everywhere. But I also, at the time, was suffering from quite a severe sinus infection, and so I didn't smell it. If you know what urine smells like when it's been in a vial for 38 years or whatever, man, that stuff smells that shit is fucking nasty, man. It's still on. I washed this microphone many times. I put it through and washed it with bleach, and I gave it a cement wash, and man, it still smells like shit, But anyway, so this stuff leaked everywhere, and I took it all out, and I was just going through testing it. The first thing I tested was the popcorn, vintage popcorn maker, because I was very eager to try that out. Not to make popcorn, but just to dry my fingerless gloves. I needed, it's a very, I've read that it's a very effective way to do that, and I have many pairs of these gloves, and put them in the wash and they shrink, and you get hand cramps, and it's unpleasant. So I just, I bought this popcorn maker to facilitate that need that I had, and I turned it on, and and I try to tell I tell the story to neighbors and people at the supermarket before that are giving away those free samples of meat and stuff. I've told them, and that they will listen, and but I'm swear to you, the spirit of leadbelly was coursing through the circuitry of that popcorn maker, through the whatever superconductors and switches and levers operate that particular machine. The blower, the air that was blowing from that machine was the dying breath of leadbelly reincarnated, and it sang to me. I know that leadbelly was also quite a good guitarist. I don't think I don't think a popcorn maker is able to reproduce the acoustics of a stringed instrument. So it was a bit of a disadvantage to his spirit, and I hope he was not disrespected by that. But his voice sang through to me through that popcorn device, and I put my fingerless gloves in there, and I dried them and I put them on. And man, I went out the next day and I bought a steel string guitar, learned how to play Star Spangled Banner on that thing. It took me like 3 hours, That's it, 3 hours, man. And I couldn't believe it, And I pretty much, gave up after then. I took it to the pawn shop about a month later, but that was an amazing experience for me, and I think that people are skeptical about life after death, and whether we leave a part of us behind when we die, and I think that we do, and I think that leadbelly did that, and I'm personally very honored to have been a part of that experience with him. I wish that I could share it with his family, but I don't know whether they are, and to be honest, I did pay $380 for that little vial of piss, and I don't really want to waste it on anyone else. I mean, maybe I can use it to get eternal life, or yeah, I don't know. It hasn't got me laid yet either.